Hey y'all, it's me, Miss B. Today we are continue on with factoring, but we are solving by factoring. All right, so there's this thing called the zero product property, ZPP. All right, so whenever I say ZPP, I mean you need to set both parts of the equation equal to zero. Okay, go ahead and write that down. We probably won't talk about the exact definition a whole lot, but I am going to be shouting ZPP at you. So let's go ahead and solve 4x plus 1, x plus 2 equals 0. All right, the zero product property, ZPP, what that means is I'm going to set both parts equal to 0. Because the zero product property says that if the whole thing equals 0, then one of these two things has to be 0. Because 0 times anything gives us 0. All right, and then we solve. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So I have 4x equals negative 1, divide by 4, and x equals negative 1/4. All right, but we're not done. We have to solve the second one. So x subtract 2, so we get x equals negative 2. So there are two answers to the problem. There are two things that are equal to 0. That make the equation equal to 0. Okay, so that's what the zero product property means. All right, so let's go ahead and do this next one. You do it. All right, ZPP says I can set x minus 6 equal to 0 and x minus 5 equal to 0 because the whole thing is equal to 0. Then I solve. I get x equals 6 and x equals 5. All right, went through that kind of fast. Pause if you need to, but I was just covering what zero product property is. Sometimes we will have functions that aren't already factored because that's the nature of this class. All right, so here are the steps. You're going to get your equation equal to 0. So sometimes you might have something like x squared plus 5x equals negative 4. In which case you want to add 4 to both sides so that you get all of your stuff on one side and 0 on the other. Okay, so that's what that means. Then you're going to factor the function. Then you're going to set each factor equal to 0 using ZPP. And then you're going to solve each part. So here we go. My whole thing is already set equal to 0. Check. All right, then I want to factor. So I need two numbers that multiply, or let's do add first. I don't know why I'm on the multiplying. Add to be 4, geez, 5, and multiply to be 4. The numbers are 1 and 4, 1 and 4. Because I have a 1, I can write this as x plus 4 times x plus 1 without splitting the middle. Don't forget that equals 0. Now I'm going to use ZPP and set x plus 4 equal to 0 and x plus 1 equal to 0. Done, and now I solve. Subtract 4 from both sides to get x equals negative 4, and subtract 1 from both sides to get x equals negative 1. All right, and we are done. Simple as that. Let's go ahead and do this next one together. All right, so first, set everything equal to 0. Done. Now we need to factor. I want you to go ahead and do that on your own. What you should have had is x minus 3, x plus 2 equals 0. Done. Now, ZPP, go ahead and do that on your own. So you have x minus 3 equals 0. And x plus 2 equals 0. Done. Now solve. you should have got x equals 3 and x equals -2. Oop. Done. Okay. I think you guys are pretty good on that. I want you to go ahead and try this last one on your own. All right, this one was a little tricky because you have to subtract 15 from both sides to set it equal to 0. So we get 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0. Then we have to factor it, but because of this 2 out front, that means we need to split the middle. So my two numbers, I need to add to be 7 and multiply to be -30. And my two numbers are, let me move this over, -10 and 3. So then I have 2x squared minus 10x plus 3x. Oh wait, you know what? It's supposed to be plus 10x minus 3x. There we go. Minus 15 equals 0. GCF of 2x and 10x are 2x, x plus 5. Factor this next one, we have 3 times x plus 5. Then we have 2x minus 3 times x plus 5 equals 0. All right, now we're factored. Now we need to do ZPP by setting 2x minus 3 equal to 0 and x plus 5 equal to 0. Finally, we solve. So we add 3 to both sides. We get 2x equals 3, divide by 2, and x is equal to 1.5. Subtract 5 on this one, and we get x is equal to -5. And those are our two